Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Sergeant Alex here, and another little Minecraft video going on, semi-redstone theme, as you can see down there. And I know what you're thinking, what monstrosity are connect today? Well, I've covered super smelters a couple times. I know I've done a kelp farm, which is a good fuel source, but I want to cover another fuel alternative. This one's a little bit more beginning of the game friendly, and there's definitely ways to upgrade it as you go along. And I don't think I'm going to do not sugarcane, bamboo just yet, because unless you have the zero-tick machine, it doesn't really work that well as a fuel source, unless you're growing it in mass quantities. With kelp blocks in the farm I'm showing you here now, it's takes a little bit of work for this one, but you get a good amount of charcoal, which is the whole point of today's video. I'm going to show you how to collect woods, and this works if you're not doing it for charcoal collection, but essentially you have a little growing chamber up here, and a tree chops down, flows down this little path into some hoppers, and due to the new drops that trees do with the leaves and sticks and stuff, you don't get just the wood. So I had to separate this part. This used to be connected. It would feed right in here and automatically smelt out some charcoal. And this whole redstone circuitry mystery here, just make sure that this thing never runs out of charcoal. It just runs forever. You don't have to look at it. But the stuff you can take comes down here and back up here with a little bit of dispenser and such. And it pops up here. So before I cover that, which is a little bit bigger but not complicated, let's cover the complicated part. What you will need to start this is a block of your choice. I'm going to use smooth stone because you can count out the blocks. Grab a dropper. Of course, we're going to need a furnace, dispensers, chest. For redstone components, definitely redstone dust. We do have a torch here, a couple repeaters, and where is it hiding? Right here, comparator. And eventually you're going to need eggs. I will explain that later on. So I'm going to refer back to this every once in a while. But for beginners, we are going to want to come over here, give me some room, with a repeater, no ticks or anything going into that block, a little redstone dust. And it's going to pop up too, and we're going to place a torch right there. And then that's what's turning this on. This block is going to be powered, so if I put a dust on there, you see it lights up. And if we fly over here, you can see that block has a hopper right in front of it. And in front of that hopper itself is going to be a chest right here. And you're going to run two hoppers into it. I'll explain why in a second. Just know that on top of this block, where's my AB? AB is wrong button. Oh. One of these should be AB. A, B. Okay, there's my AB paddles. For some reason it doesn't want to work, so we'll do that. Just know you want to put a block there for now. And that's why you're doing the double chest out here, because with a block on top of it, since most of you probably can't open the chest. You could do it, and we're going to be putting a redstone current on top of that block later. So we kind of need that to work. But popping over here, we're going to run this circuitry up a little bit. Off of this block that has a torch, we're going to come back one block, go up a diagonal, and then up diagonal the same way, and 3 blocks total. On those 3 blocks, we are going to have a comparator coming out, some redstone dust going right here, a repeater coming right out of this block, and then some more dust. And now we can get our little dropper magic going on. So let's stop flying here for a second. We can place that one looking. Hang on. I want this one looking that way. And then followed by 2 looking up. And there's going to be a hopper going into this one. On top of this hopper, whichever way you want to point it, I just have it pointing out front for decoration reasons. We're going to have our furnace, and of course, we're going to have the loading system, so we'll just put a chest right there. And in the back of this furnace, we're going to place a hopper. And this is where the eggs come in. So I do believe eggs are hiding all the way down here. Somewhere on the right side of my little inventory box here. Probably missed it. Definitely missed it if I got all the way to the bottom of the redstone. Where, oh, where are thy eggs hiding? And it doesn't have to be eggs. It's pretty much whatever block a furnace will not pull into it, as long as you can stack it. Okay. No, I thought I spotted it. But I did not, and I might have to do that. Wait, you're there. So let's grab a full stack of eggs. I'm just going to swap it out with the repeater here for now. And as you can see, as I place the eggs in here, they don't go down. So 3, 3, 3, and 2. I place one too many in there. And what this is doing is it's just giving that comparator enough strength to not power that redstone. One more block, this is going to be powered, which will in turn power this block, turn this on, turn everything else off, depower this block, and this repeater is set to not repeater, that dispenser is not set to let anything through. So if you look here, I'll pop in an egg, and everything just swapped, and the eggs I just put in there that were staying there are now gone. And we will find them in our chest here, which is pretty much what happens with the charcoal that comes out. But the reason we're doing all of this is so we can tell the machine when to give itself fuel. So we're going to start by doing a little 3x3 grid here. This block here gets lit up one. And we are going to need a comparator back, because coming out of here, comparator, repeater, turn around, repeater with a little click on there, and then a little redstone L that goes all the way up to that block, and then this one right here, get a redstone dust. And one thing I do want to mention is if you take a large amount of charcoal and automatically put it into that hopper down there, it's just gonna kind of jam up and split 50-50 just because of the way the system reads it. It can't process stuff really fast and accurate, but as you can see, if I grab a stack of spruce logs here, and we put them in here, and we're going to let that work its way magic for a little bit, and one more block should come up here and also replacing the fuel that just got to him, but everything else should come down here and join the eggs. So we have 64 fuel, just going to wait for about 1 or 2 more charcoal pops into here. So there's one. As you can see, the entire system should, in one more block, we need to get 2, so there's 2. The entire system just swapped, so our third block, which is about to fuel up now, will magically appear in here. And that'll do so for as long as it can, until one of the charcoal here disappears, in which case it'll just send one back up here and continue smelting that way, which will pretty much give you unlimited fuel. This is nice to start out at the beginning of the game. You just have to get some redstone and some iron, which is the hardest thing to find for this whole thing. Actually, I take that back. You need some quartz, so you'll have to travel into the nether. That is one of the downsides. Now on for the little harvesting chamber, which I'm going to come over here to build off of since I already have it. And we're going to mirror it on this side. I just need to find a bucket of water. Hopefully I can find it on the first shot. Here we are. Bucket of water. And we're going to match this one. So we're going to have our little floor. So 1 block there for the water to run off. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's as far back as the water wants to go. And for this just collection, I just had the water blocks. 1 block here comes up, 1 more block goes 8, and so on and so forth. And for this design, you can run this however you want. I'm just gonna run it away and show you the whole transporting method. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to do 2 little units now. That'll allow for the room of 3 trees. And one of the important things I want to mention about this is you want to make sure the trees are in the center, just because some blocks, when they break, they kind of come off to the side, and we're hoping to get some saplings and sticks to come along too, which is one of the benefits of having this little farm. And the reason I'm showing this farm is because in Bedrock Edition, the automatic tree farm is not exactly the best thing to use. Hang on, let me just double my math. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I need a wall right here. And you could run it. You could run the little channels this way as I'm doing. You can build them side by side, whichever way works for your area, because each little randomly generated spot might be more forgiving to a different, semi-different design. I'm just giving you the basic idea here so you can adapt it to your surroundings. And the water should stop right there. And if I put another line there, it should stop. Well, should have stopped at that edge, but I kind of messed up on my counting. I'm pretty sure if I check the math on this, it's going to be 7 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. But not to worry, because all I have to do is delete that line and it'll come out nicely. So just one line of water if you want to do 7. If I wanted to fix this, I have to move this back 1 more block, same thing with the wall, and then just place some water blocks here. And I'm going to come up about 2 blocks here, make our little platform. We'll make it a little wide, just in case you're clumsy and like me and like to walk off edges. We're not going to say how many times that happens. And then just going to build out to the edge here. So we're going to have a little spot here for tree growth. And I really don't have a magic number for here for the area. I was hoping to fit 3, but hey, we'll fit 3. Just space them out a little more. I think usually what I do is each little 8x8 area I'll have a tree. So this would be 2 growing chambers. For the sake of this video, I'm making it 3, so I'm squeezing them in here. And it definitely would work. You can definitely have them close together if they're smaller trees, but for this farm, I'm recommending jungle or I think it's spruce. Yeah, spruce. Jungle or spruce. So get yourself 4 jungle saplings or 4 spruce saplings. And if they have any other trees that grow in a 2x2 pattern, I'd recommend growing those. And plant those, however, and they'll magically grow. So magically grow, and over time, they'll magically grow. I don't feel like entering the code to change my tick speed, so we'll have some big, beautiful trees. That's why I recommend the big trees, because we're using them to make just fuel, so no real point in harvesting all the small ones. So you're going to come in here, and as you farm down your trees, one of the nice things about the iron bars in between gives you a little tightrope to walk along instead of trying to parkour your way across. And as you break these trees and mine them all down, they're going to do their drops and stuff, which this collects a little bit of. So we're going to get trees, saplings, some more trees, a random block of blown meal, and just for added effect, we'll just drop everything else in my inventory. And this is one of the reasons why I had to separate it, because you're not just dropping the logs. If there is an item separator that works for you, I really haven't tinkered around with them myself. If there's one that works for you, by all means use that. And you can definitely connect all this stuff up with your magic redstone powers. But it all comes over here, slides on down, and it is currently working its way in here. Due to large quantities and how fast hoppers can transport stuff, in some cases it'll jam up. In this case it didn't. But you can see the wood made its all here and everything else in my inventory. And since this stuff really can't go into the smelting spot, we're going to grab the logs. We would come over here and drop in our fuel. I will drop in half there. It should light up, and yep, the system's still working. And we have some there. We have some there. Little glitch on this one. I've done the build a few times just to make sure it works. I've used many, many resources to help me out, because Redstone and Bedrock Edition aren't exactly known for cooperating, which is why I make these Redstone videos. I want something that works in Bedrock Edition, and if it works in Java Edition, that's great. If not, it's probably been done in Java. It tends to be the more popular of the two. But since then, we've had 37 charcoal, and this does click a little bit. If there's a bunch it's processing at once, it won't, but it's only dealing with one block. Click. And that just helps with everything. I actually don't know what that redstone does there. One of my friends, he was tinkering with the design too, which is some of the changes I don't understand. And he put that there and said it needed to be there. So I tend not to argue with him because he's a little bit more friendly with redstone than I am. But we got this thing working, and that's pretty much it. One thing I do recommend is I would suggest burying this in the ground or putting it in your base and stuff, and having your log collecting chest relatively close by so you can just walk over. Sadly, you do have to be the middleman for this, but once you put all your logs in there, it'll run for a while and give you beautiful fuel amounts, which you can use for making torches or running your furnaces early on in the game. It's definitely a beginning design. I do recommend when you get the resources, which the build is not actually here, but I will try to link down below. Is definitely I have a kelp farm design that will give you more fuel and works a little bit faster once you actually discover kelp blocks, which are a lot easier to find with the latest updates and whatnot. Definitely not as easy as finding a jungle, because that's one of the reasons why I haven't come up with the bamboo design. I've done 3 worlds since that, and I really haven't found a jungle to get bamboo out of. But when I do, it tends to go towards scaffolding, so there might be a bamboo design coming in the future. If not, oh well. But other than that, this is Sergeant Alex. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you decided to give it a shot. A definitely friendly charcoal and tree farm, so 2 builds in one. And other than that, I hope you have a nice day. Comment down below, because I love reading comments, even if it's not related to this video. Have a recommendation, put that down below. Have something you just want to say, put it down below. I'll try to reply, say hi, see how you're doing. Subscribe if you're new. I think I already said that, actually. Like or dislike make me cry. On Twitter, I do post when I'm streaming. I'm back doing that. I'll do some World of Tanks and Minecraft, which is what I started my channel off on, but I have been venturing into other games. But just keeping a comment eye out down below for that over on Twitter. And that's pretty much all of it. So I think I've rambled on enough. I hope you have a nice day. And this is Sergeant Alex. Bye.